Okay, so today's lecture is also about IELTS reading, and today we'll be discussing labeling and noting questions along with, true, false, and not given and other, question types, right? So in this unit, you will learn how to label a diagram. You will also learn how to complete notes, summary, or table or flowchart completion tasks. You will also learn how to answer yes, no, not given questions, or how to answer true, false, and not given questions, right? So these are, further types of questions that you may get in your IELTS, reading sections. So these are the questions that we are going to discuss today. Number first, we will be discussing labeling a diagram. In the IELTS reading test, you may get a diagram, right, along with the passage, and you might be asked that, uh, label some of the portions of the diagram, right? And there'll be proper instructions in everything, as you may have and other question types as well. So the facts about labeling a diagram is that label parts, you have to label parts of a diagram, right? You will have to have a diagram based on description and reading passage. So there will be a reading passage. Along with that, there will be a diagram, right? Labels tasks are taken from text up to 3 words or a number, right? So when you will be labeling those questions, you will have to take numbers or words from the text and then fill the gaps in the labels, right? And they can be maximum up to 3 words or a number, right? Now, another important thing that you should keep in mind is that the labels may not be in the same order as the text, right? For example, you can see label 1 is here, second label is here, third is here. So you may not find answers of these labels in the same order. It is very much likely that the answer to this label might be, first, and the answer to the first label might be, later, right? So both the things are possible. Okay. Further, you have to use correct spellings and grammar, right, to answer these questions. Correct spelling and grammar is really important. If you don't know, if you don't spell the answers correctly, it means that your answers might be wrong. Now, here is a question type. Labeling a diagram question format, right? This is how it looks like. The diagram below shows a telescope, right? Label the diagram by using no more than 2 words from the reading passage to fill each numbered space. Write your answers in boxes 1 to 3 on your answer sheet, right? So you have question 1 to 3, and you have to answer, all these labels, right? But you should not write more than 2 words, as is highlighted here, right? And you can take these labels out of the reading passage. Now, where is the passage? It's in the second slide. You will see it, right? Okay. So it says the instructions further tells you that write your answers in boxes 1 to 3 on your answer sheet, right? Now, again, there is a heading given, a radio telescope. So it means that this, uh, label, this diagram is a radio telescope, right? And then, there are different parts of this telescope, and you have to answer, all these parts. You have to name these parts. Now, here is an example of, what kind of passage you may get and what kind of, diagram you may get. So here is another diagram, right? And you have a passage here, and we have question number 1 here. You have to label this part of the diagram. But the instructions tells you that the diagram below shows a key operated padlock. Label the diagram by using no more than how many words? 2 words from the reading passage to fill each numbered space. Write your answers in boxes 1 to 2 on your answer sheet. Now, the name of this thing is a key operated padlock, right? We have to label this part of the diagram. Now, if you look here, here is an example. A shackle, which is a curved revolving bar, extends up from the steel case. So, what is the right answer here? Atika, can you tell me? Hello? Atika, could you please tell me? Okay, so the right option right here is shackle, right? And shackle, should be placed here. And it is right, exactly under the word limit. There is no more than 2 words. Now, how this task should be done? Check the instructions to see how many words or numbers you can write in the gaps. So we can write no more than 2 words, right? And then look at the diagram heading. So the diagram heading is here, right? Study each part of the diagram and pay attention to shapes and locations. So we have paid the attention, and this is the curved shape, and this is what we can see here in the writing as well. And we have found, what should be the label of this curved shape thing, right? Think about each part of the diagram which might be described. So all these parts might be described here in this passage. Now, skim through the text to find the sections you need, and then scan this part to find the correct answers. So we need to scan and skim, right? The whole, you can say, passage to find out the correct answers, right? Further, write the answers, but be careful that the words or word or numbers that you write must fit in the gaps, right? And they should be spelled correctly. So these things are very important. Now, here is another, in this slide, you are actually having the practice. So in this practice session, what do you have here? You have this diagram, right? And then, under 6 minutes time, you have to answer all these labels, right? For example, one is ice dash, second is formation of dash, and third is dash level, right? You have to read this passage and then answer these 3 questions correctly. Now let me open this uh, passage for you people. Here is the passage. The instructions are question number 1 to 3. The chart below shows the Kaya's findings on the relationship between snowflake information and temperature, right? So this is, the whole, you can say, chart all about. That is the title of the chart. Label the diagram by using no more than 2 words. We should not be using no more than 2 words, right? And we will be reading this passage, which is given here, right? This whole passage, and we'll be trying to answer all the 3 questions, the 3 blanks. Write your answers in boxes 1 to 3 on your answer sheet. So your time starts now. You have 6 minutes to think about all the possible answers and answer them, right? Go ahead, please.